In the top stories, the Republic of China Taiwan has appointed a new ambassador to St. Kitts and Nevis. Cuba and the U.S. have concluded a preparatory human rights negotiation meeting, and Nigeria's president-elect says he feels fulfilled following his election victory. Good afternoon and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Today is Wednesday, 1st of April, 2015. I'm Jason Davis. On the national scene, a new Taiwanese ambassador to St. Kitts Nevis has been appointed. His Excellency Ambassador George Galway Chow has been in St. Kitts for just over a week, but he has already been meeting with government officials. Earlier this week, he met with Minister responsible for public infrastructure, the Honorable Ian Lambert, to discuss areas of mutual interest and strengthening the bonds between St. Kitts Nevis and Taiwan. Ambassador Chow succeeds His Excellency Ambassador Miguel Tao. And in related news, the new Taiwanese ambassador has pledged his country's continued support to the St. Christopher Air and Seaport Authority. The comments came as Minister with responsibility for SCASPA, the Honorable Ian Lambert, and Chief Executive Officer of SCASPA, Jonathan Bass, led His Excellency Ambassador George Galway Chow on a tour of the Robert L. Bradshaw International Airport on Tuesday. The tour included a walkthrough of the expanded and renovated departure and arrival halls, which were both funded by the Embassy of the Republic of China, Taiwan. The new ambassador also met with airport staff and was briefed on upcoming renovation plans. The ambassador said he's pleased with the airport terminal.
I am proud to say that you can compete with any airport in the United States and the European. So I'm great to know that you have managed this airport so well, and you want to have a more project to remodel this airport, and my government will support you.
In other news, the Ministry of Health is continuing to execute its mandate of promoting healthy lifestyles to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis and providing them with the information they need to do so. Recently, the community-based nursing services conducted their first health report for 2014, aimed at providing a comprehensive view of their work and sharing experiences related to community health nursing. Government officials, health planners, and community nurses from across the Federation were in attendance. Minister of State responsible for health, the Honorable Wendy Phipps, spoke about challenges and opportunities in the health sector, including non-communicable diseases, increasing time away from work, use of information, and adopting best practices. Community Nursing Services Coordinator Eulinis Brown said the initiative allowed them to get a holistic perspective of all facilities in St. Kitts and Nevis, as it was the first time they met with environmental and dental health officials. She said it gave healthcare practitioners a new approach moving forward for future reports. On the regional scene, Cuban and U.S. delegates on Tuesday ended a preparatory meeting for holding future negotiations on human rights without setting a date, agenda, or host for those talks as the countries move towards restoring diplomatic ties. The U.S. delegation was led by Tom Malinowski, the State Department's Assistant Secretary and Human Rights and Democracy. Pedro Luis Pedroso, Deputy Director of Multilateral Affairs and Law at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, led the Cuban side.
As you know, we held the first meeting on human rights with the United States, a meeting that originated from a proposal made by Cuba. This meeting was held in a professional and respectful atmosphere. During the discussions, the Cuban delegation emphasized the need to have dialogue based on serving equality and non-interference in internal affairs of the parties. During the meeting, things of interest for both delegations were addressed, and Cuba expressed concerns related to the guarantee and protection of human rights in the United States. In that context, we drew attention on the persistence of patterns of discrimination and racism and intensification of police brutality. As far as I know, there is an issue that belongs to other contexts, and then in the context of the process of establishing diplomatic relations is something that we didn't look at in this conversation.
In St. Lucia, the United Workers' Party has spoken out on the ongoing Lambert Academy human trafficking controversy. In a sit-down with the media, Alan Chastanet and Guy Joseph have both questioned the government's management of the issue. Now the UWP is calling for a thorough and independent investigation into the entire affair.
Ministry whose signature had appeared on the documents, you would have heard a different story. But since it's a minister, so it must be swept under the carpet, the UWP will not let this matter rest. And we believe that there ought to be a full independent investigation. Dr. Anthony felt that the police could not investigate themselves. He had to bring in Jamaicans to investigate the police. So who is investigating the government?
The upper echelons of the United Workers' Party have expressed deep concern over the government's handling of the Lambert's Academy scandal. According to Castries South East MP Guy Joseph, the case of human trafficking is a critical matter that is not being dealt with expeditiously by the government of the day. Joseph has apportioned blame on the Minister for Education, Dr. Robert Lewis, and Minister for Commerce, Emma Hippolyte.
It is amazing to me that in such a short space of time that you could have a school get all of these approvals. I know schools, it took 4 to 5 years to go through that same process. So how did that happen? The government is not taking responsibility, but when it's me, they are quick to accuse me.
Joseph says members of the Dr. Kenny Anthony administration have demonstrated that they are not equipped to handle the matter. Therefore, he has offered a lending hand to the incumbent. Joseph went on to state that the UWP government was often accused of sullying the reputation of St. Lucia on the international stage. However, he says some degree of introspection is now necessary in the case of the reigning SLP.
2 ministers involved in the process. And all we get in is little snippets of comments here and there. Where is the full independent investigation into what transpired? Because I said, I know the process. I know it takes years. I know the forms that you have to fill out. And I know the number of requirements that are set in place before a school can get approval to operate here.
Joseph accused the administration of sitting on their laurels while precious time passed and the plight of the stranded students worsened. He also questions the government's motives in deporting some students to India, Nepal and the Philippines weeks before the trial date. He has appealed to the citizenry to empathize with the students.
If it was our students who had paid for an institution recognized by a government, what would be the reaction of St. Lucia? How would we be reacting? When I watch some of the silly comments being made by St. Lucians as to what we should do with these students, it is not their fault. It is the credibility of St. Lucia that is at stake there.
The former Works Minister says the United Workers' Party came under heavy fire over Atlantic University, a medical institution based at the Mental Wellness Center. Joseph is calling for full disclosure. He says the United Workers' Party will not rest until the government provides concrete and honest answers in the Lambert scandal. Jade Brown, HTS News Force.
Internationally, Nigeria's President-elect Muhammadu Buhari says he feels fulfilled after his election victory. Buhari, the country's former military leader, made history by being the first challenger to oust an incumbent president in a vote. Al Jazeera's Yvonne Ndege reports from Abuja.
He's the president-elect in Africa's most populous country, but when we spoke to Muhammadu Buhari just hours after his election victory, he appeared calm and relaxed.
How does it feel to have won this election, and how will you tackle Nigeria's problems?
I would like to answer those questions after INEC has formally given me the certificate. Thank you very much.
You know you're the winner. How does it feel? How does it feel inside?
Well,
after 12 years.
Fulfilled.
You feel fulfilled?
Yes.
In Abuja, Lagos and Kaduna State and across many of Nigeria's cities, Buhari supporters celebrated. It was a historic day, the first time in Nigeria's history an elected government has failed to win re-election, and a peaceful handover of power from one democratically elected leader to another.
We are very happy because this Baba we have been praying for him to win the election, and he has won the election now. All Nigeria is happy. Everybody, both woman, man, female, girls, boys, younger ones, older ones, they are very happy right now.
He has been part of the masses for a very long time. He knows our problems. He is one of us. He knows what the Nigerian people want. We don't have roads, we don't have lights, we don't have jobs. The youths are jobless. There is insecurity in this country. And I believe with his experience and with the team he is coming on to hold the positions in this country, things will change, and change has come.
Conceding defeat, outgoing President Goodluck Jonathan called for unity and stability.
I promised the country free and fair elections. I've kept my word. I've also expanded the space for Nigerians to participate in the democratic process. That is one legacy I would like to see endure.
But for Buhari, the hard work of government now begins. He says his first priority will be to fight endemic corruption, which has blighted the country. He's also promised to deal with insecurity in parts of the north, high unemployment and chronic power shortages.
The formal handover of power won't take place until the end of May, when he'll be sworn in. And then Nigerians will have to wait for Muhammadu Buhari to deliver what he's promised. Yvonne Dege, Al Jazeera, Abuja, Nigeria.
The head of Lufthansa, parent company of Germanwings, visited the site of last week's crash to pay respects to those who perished. But the airline boss and other top officials refused to answer any questions about the co-pilot who's seemingly responsible for the tragedy.
Just over a week after the Germanwings plane crash, the head of the airline and the boss of the parent company Lufthansa have visited the scene. They say it was important to mourn the victims, but they refuse to answer any questions about the co-pilot, who seems to have deliberately crashed the plane.
We are just very, very sorry that such a terrible accident could have happened in Lufthansa, where we put so much focus on safety. We are sorry for the losses that occurred, and there's just no words to express this.
When did you find the 2009 email from Lambert?
I'm sorry.
Why did it take you so long to publish
There's no questions and answers. Sorry for that.
Sorry for that.
One of your planes.
Thank you.
Sir, your employee crashed a plane. Why are you refusing to take questions?
Now to take a look at today's weather, a frontal system is generating some slight instability across the British Virgin Islands and the Leeward Islands, inducing occasional patches of low-level moisture. Today, therefore, will be partly sunny to sometimes locally cloudy with a chance of brief passing showers. Tonight will be fair to partly cloudy with a chance of brief passing showers. The temperature today will reach a high of 28 degrees Celsius with a low tonight of 22 degrees. Winds will come in from the east-northeast to east-southeast at 5 to 16 miles per hour over land, reaching 18 miles per hour over open waters. Seas are moderate with wave heights of 5 feet. And the weather brings us to the end of the ZIZ Midday Newscast. Join us for this evening for these stories and more in detail. Thank you for watching. I'm Jason Davis. Have a great day.